Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the No Fugazi Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Davon. Appreciate you guys coming out for another Wednesday night. As you know what time it is, it's Dynamite. AEW pretty much had some great storylines, intriguing, also pending with everything that has been going on the land of AEW, with so many different things, including the recap of the BCC putting the beat down when it came to Bryan Danielson. So many situations happening as the war of so many different sides are setting things when it comes to the course of everything that has been happening when it comes to the AEW programming. Not only with the BCC as well as the Elite, the same situation was going on with Tony Khan and the landscape of AEW. So many shapes and sizes of different things have been taking part of everything. But more importantly, let's go ahead and get into this actual recap and review of everything that initially took place when it came to everything that had happened when it came to this following night with AEW Dynamite. Start off with the parking lot view of the group of AEW wrestlers waiting for the arrival of the BCC. They were all out there, including Orange Cassidy, the Dark Order, and so many other stars who were looking to get their hands on the BCC's arrival with things to come with the rundown on tonight's showcase. Follow up, we end up having a video package about the chaos that happened with Kip Sabian and Hangman Adam Page, which led to Christian Cage picking up the victory over Jay White last week. Follow up, we end up having an introduction by Tony Schiavone, who put some words about what's going on when Hangman makes his way to the ring. And then Tony asks him where his mindset is when it came to his overall promo. He said for the past couple of weeks, situations haven't been damaging caused by the Bang Bang Gang until Colton Gunn blindsides him and things really broke down as the Bang Bang Gang gets into a brawl. He sends them directly into the outside, and then the melee really took course when everything initially broke down when it came to the fight. The fight spilled out onto the crowd, and things really broke down after Colton was sent into the apron. And then Hangman takes his belt off to continue the beat down until the rest of the gang comes down and make the save. And Hangman makes his way up the ramp, and they circle the ring before going after Hangman, who initially makes a quick escape and limps up the ramp. But then Jay grabs the mic and tells Hangman directly, as I quote, he says he can't hide and that he will always have the Hangman's number, which is kind of true. He has been getting him, regardless if it was in New Japan or as in AEW, he's always had his number. He says Page can't hide behind the blood and barbed wire he wants, but when the bell rings, he will always come up short against the Switchblade. He said if you're not down with that, they got two words for you. And then they said guns up. And of course, sends the crowd a little bit happy with the little theme song playing. And then they pan towards the back with the graphics hyping up the opening contest, which is going to be Sami Gavr taking on Shelton Benjamin. But of course, a highlight of Sami Gavr's career and everything he has done so far, including winning championships, and that seeing him face one of the best, Shelton Benjamin, tonight is going to be an honor. More importantly, Benjamin, the MVP, talks about the business they're in and then being merchants of misery, including looking to take over the situation, which is another faction coming to take over, with so many factions trying to put their stamp of running AEW. And he says, trust the process, that they've done it before and they'll do it again when it comes to the overall package. But the video package was cool. Then we go to Sami Gavr, who makes his way for the open contest against Shelton Benjamin. What more can you ask for this match? This match was great. They start off early with a couple of attacks, a couple of near falls, technical skills off the charts when it came to everything that initially happened. More importantly, things went across the board when MVP, of course, got involved a little bit. And Benjamin was able to kick Sami Gavr directly in the face. They had a couple picture commercials directly in the course of this match. But things really broke down when it came down towards the end, as Shelton Benjamin was able to hit that exploder power slam as he originally went back to his original, the T-bone suplex style pin into a jackhammer to pick the pinfall on Sami Gavr after a great win and a great match. 100%. I give this match a 4 out of 5 stars. They delivered and they really put some showcase under their belts tonight when it came to everything that happened. There was no hiccups. They had the great chemistry. Shelton Benjamin controlled majority of the match, being a true veteran that he is. But Sami Guevara came up short. But I don't know where Sami Guevara may end up going. But it's still going to be intriguing to see where Sami Guevara picks up the pieces after picking up another L. But as well, what will happen in the whole situation of him as well being a part of Ring of Honor to defend his actual championships as well, and being aligned with Dustin Rhodes and seeing where that storyline picks up as the following. Then we go to the backstage with Renee Peck, who's got a word with Mariah May, who is seen with a luggage case, revealing that it's Anna's J as she's throwing it open against the floor of the hallway, and she runs down Anna before talking about her being a new number one contender. But then, of course, she confronts her briefly until officials rush in to intervene in the situation as they ended up panning away and cutting away from them having a face-to-face brawl in some sort. Then we get to Kyle Fletcher. Man, what more can we talk about this situation? You talk to more. The video package really go about why he betrayed Will Ospreay and Will Wrestle Dream, and then promises that he will address things tonight. And then of course they pan to Tony Schiavone welcome Kyle Fletcher as well as Don Callis to the ring. They had a whole lot to talk about, including the situation, the ups, downs, this whole situation of what happened 11 days ago, the whole situation that had transpired, and they kept asking him why, Kyle, why? But of course, we got the Ospreay chance, but of course, he said he's at home picking up his pieces and covering from his wounds. And then he proceeded to shave his head, which I was not a fan of when it came to the situation. I don't know what they're coming in with the situation. A bald Fletcher is not the way to go. But we shall see how the former United Empire member goes about this whole new transformation. Maybe it'd be a little bit more of a serious persona, but it'll be interesting. What more can he do, as he was great when it came to him kind of giving the homage to the American Werewolves, wearing the little claw marks paint and then going back to the red and black style attire. But of course, things can be intriguing to see how things pick up as he joins the Don Callis family, and talk about why he left New Japan for AEW, and brings up the history that he had, including with Okada, Kenny Omega. But he saw the writing on the wall, and that he wanted to be out of Ospreay's shadow because of the lesson Will taught him. But we shall see how things pick up. But I know in the long run, Will Ospreay is looking to get that revenge, and those two guys are going to put on a banger match. It's just a matter of time when they're going to put that course for Full Gear, with Will Ospreay looking to avenge that victory and get the upper hand on Don Callis' family. But you got to be careful with Don Callis. You got to see what's going on with his family as he's shaping things up and changing things up with the way how he's got things underway too. More importantly, where is Will Hobbs? Will Hobbs is one of their big man that's part of AEW, but he is aligned with the Don Callis family. Maybe he may remove himself from that situation and join the MVP family, which be part of the Hurt Syndicate, which I'll be cool with him being the big muscle part of that group. It'll be kind of interesting, as well as seeing the direction with the frustrations of, I kind of seen the Ring of Honor of seeing how things were happen as well when it came to was that Big Shotty and a couple other that's their Ring of Honor. They're kind of finding their niche, and a couple of talent maybe getting called up as well to be a part of the Hurt Syndicate. Just a matter of time to see how things may actually be more intrigued. And I'd like to know from you guys, as a personal opinion, how you feeling about that whole storyline situation. I know a lot of people got it wrong when it came to Bobby Lashley making his initial debut, but he's coming. It's just a matter of when he's ready. Most likely probably be at Full Gear when we get Shelton Benjamin versus Ricochet, and that's going to be a good one. And follow up with the debut of Bobby Lashley, including the situation that happened with Leo Rush last week. some people were brewing about rumors that Bobby Lashley was not a big fan of the beatdown that happened between Shelton Benjamin and Leo Rush in their singles match. And as you know, that Bobby Lashley is very close with Leo Rush, but that situation was smash mouth. Shelton Benjamin did give him his props and respect. They gave him a business card, so we shall see what happens in the long run with the whole entire breakdown with the whole Hurt Syndicate. But more importantly, the whole drama that's unfolding before our eyes with not only Ricochet, Don Callis family. It's just a whole big old fiasco going on. Then we get to Koniska Tateska, another member of the Don Callis family, who now taking the leadership role of being part of that group. About the video package by him defending the AEW International Championship at Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling against somebody that we know that he really what the hell he went with Mike Bailey after all people, the Speedball. That was one of something that you really I highly recommend for you guys to check out that Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling match event. Ricochet did interfere in that whole situation. Now he's interfering to go to battle with Koneska Tateska, and it's going to be interesting to see how that whole situation happens as Ricochet was able to interrupt that beatdown to set the future match between those two for the International Championship at Full Gear. Ricochet, speaking of him, he was in an interview with Renee Capet talking about how Takeshita screwed him out of the International Championship twice before calling him or anyone out for Rampage. MVP brings out his business card along with Shelton Benjamin arrived. MVP offered him a business card and a fresh start before complimenting him on his attire before walking out. That's going to be intriguing as MVP is setting the pieces. He's trying to get people involved, but I feel like it's going to be another situation that Ricochet have to deal with when it comes to the Hurt Syndicate. Not only the Don Callis family, he's turned on in so many different situations, but also the return of Kenny Omega, which is in due time. I'm not sure if he's returning at the end of this year, but if he does, most likely it'll probably be a winter is coming. But it's looking good to see where things shape up, including with Shane McMahon coming into the fold of everything, which we know he is officially is coming into the company with the whole BCC situation. But I'll be intrigued to see where Kenny Omega fits in this whole in the fold, as they are kind of teasing that Kenny Omega versus Koneske, which that's going to be a good one. But we shall see how things pick up with the Don Callis family. Then we get tag team action underway with more members of the Don Callis family with the new aligned Brian Cage and Lance Archer, who took on a couple of local talents. This was a squash match straight to the point, including the follow-up chokeslam powerbomb, which was a newly mint tag team win between those two, and they were able to pick up the victory afterwards. We come back for the commercial break. We go to the park line once again. The Carmen Raleigh puts themselves in the head for the Briscoes match. Of course, Chuck Taylor has some words for Orange Cassidy before they head back to ringside to get things to have Mark Briscoe's back to get things underway. And Chris Jericho heads to the ring next to get ready for the Ring of Honor Ladder War match, which is basically a ladder match. It was a whole lot of smash mouth pandemonium, every single ladder that you can ask for under the sun. The Jericho gimmick is getting old when it comes to learning tree, but I feel like it doesn't elevate the stars that are around him when it comes to anybody that's been aligned with him lately. It's kind of like having them all flatline. We had a lot of back and forth, a lot of brawling happen as well with the learning tree getting involved and helping out the situation. Jericho was able to secure the victory by becoming a world champion once again and become the Ring of Honor champion after winning the actual ladder match. And of course, the celebration was cut short with the return of Tomohiro Ishii staring at the learning tree down from the stage and pointing directly at Chris Jericho to set the sights up for a Ring of Honor world title match at Full Gear between Jericho and Ishii, which is going to be a great one. But we shall see how that drama unfolds. But I'll be highly interested to see that match as well. As Jericho always knows how to go to war when it comes to the New Japan talent. But more importantly, they always have great chemistry just in general. We get a video package which cuts back into ringside where we have Adam Cole arrives and he asks about who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby. But the Undisputed Kingdom interrupts them, of course. Look like they have turned official face, flipped the roles. Instead of MJF being the face, the whole entire Undisputed Kingdom has turned face and talked about the whole situation of how important that Adam Cole is to them and the whole nine lineup, including we get a video screen of seeing MJF getting a massage from a lady. And he offers a match of full gear, which whoever group scores the 3 victories, that person will initially get the title, not the title match, but the match against MJF. Of course, we cut back to the ring. Undisputed Kingdom seems to agree with the challenge as they cut to Kyle O'Reilly looking on the backstage before coming to commercial break to see how things unfold. Then we get a video package of Finale 4, who has returned to AEW with a vengeance on her mind, and Jamie Hayter's in her sights. So we got Penelope after last week's situation backstage. Jamie Hayter addresses Ford's remarks before laying out the challenge for next week, as we have the new aligned group with Penelope Ford aligned as well with Saraya and as well as Harley Cameron, which is a decent little miniature group, but we shall see how things continue to pick the pieces up. But then we get to the big part. We cut to the House of Black making their trios run for their next match coming up. Their opponents are in the ring already, and they get things underway as the House of Black handles business. As they take on Kevin Koa, Jaden Monroe, and Perita Del Marete. This match was what you was going to get. It was a squash match. It was Smash Mouth, and House of Black took care of business to secure the victory after Buddy tags in and finishes off no other than Jaden Monroe. Buddy picks up the microphone after the match and calls out Adam Cole for next week. And he runs him down about how fragile he is when it comes to the situation to the Fright Night Dynamite before going backstage where Cole is asked about the challenge and leading to him confronting Matthews and the rest of the House of Black, who calls him too fragile before walking away. And that ends up panning from that feud. It's going to be an interesting match. Seeing Buddy Matthews aligned for next week against Adam Cole, you know that's going to be a Smash Mouth banger match. I look forward to seeing how those two men tango, but more importantly, they have great chemistry, including when they I think this is the first time they battle each other in a while since NXT days. But it'll be intriguing to see how they mesh up now, being aligned together, a part of the AEW brand. We go to ringside. We get ready for the next match of Camille makes her way to the ring alongside with Mercedes Moné for the next match. It's against Queen Anamanta, who's our local jobber, pretty much taking all the L's lately. Camille takes there was a lot of back and forth. Camille tried to get on offense early, a lot of back and forth. Queen Anamanta held her own through the course of the match. It was decent for what it was. But, of course, the Queen ended up getting sold up with that torture rack backbreaker. And then, of course, Camille manages to drop her back down and secure the victory for the 1, 2, 3 in the process. How things pick up afterwards, we end up having a Chris Statlander making her run down. Look like she's officially a face now, part of the company. And she's face-to-face, eye-to-eye, and have a little verbal jab back and forth with Camille. Mercedes gets in the middle until Chris Statlander comes in for the stave after the beatdown. And she stands up to Camille. And then Monet tries to blindside Statlander, but Novelba forces the double champion in their brick house to escape the ring, to go up the ramp after Chris Statlander stand tall after everything broke down. We go back to the parking lot again. The squad is keeping an eye on the BCC with the Patriarchy arriving. They stare each other down when Cage sees Kip Sabian, chases after him, and then they cut back to ringside. The Patriarchy appears to have their issues with Sabian, but when they see Hook coming in backstage, they say the man who attacked his fathers is in the ring right now, and he rushes them. Hook comes directly out there. Of course, he's takes out Nick Wayne first. He tries to go after Cage, but Sabian intervenes, and then Christian tells Kip he knows why he's been doing what he's been doing, but stay in the corner so he can do what he does best and deal with him later. Then he gives Hook a chance to fight back the Patriot until Kip Sabian intervenes once more, leading to Cage dropping the former FTW champion onto the title shot container, which was with Kill Switch at the time. He leans in and tells Hook that he doesn't have the right file to guide him until now, before the patriarchy leaves. Of course, he even calls him by his actual government name, which was kind of interesting, the whole follow-up. Cage versus Hook is going to be an interesting one as well. But Hook got to have some backup. Hook can't do this alone against the patriarchy. The patriarchy is too much right now over the whole situation, and it was kind of nice to see the whole situation of how things may end up unfolding. Of course, we do not have the return of Kill Switch yet, who still have been having medical issues, but we shall see how things end up turning out with that drama. Hook's looking to get a vengeance for what happened to his dad, but Christian Cage, he truly is a true bastard of his own words. As he handles business, he's about business, and he's coming for the world title. I know a lot of people have disopinions about it, or misopinions from my own personal opinion. But what more can you get out of Christian Cage? Christian Cage knows how to be a true heel, and he knows how to get the heat. We head back to the ringside of our main event as Private Party and Daniel Garcia make their way to the ring against the Elites, Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. There was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of fun seeing this match. Nicholas and Zay got into going to nice transitional moves, a lot of back and forth, high spots, of course, with a course of pitcher being involved with a couple of commercial breaks. The heels took over and controlled the majority of the match, and it was a whole lot of back and forth. Stokely was taunting and encouraging Zay as of the situation. I like Stokely maybe going face, but it'd be interesting to see how Stokely does as being the face manager. But business picked up with a couple of near falls, a lot of back and forth, a lot of static tag team moves between Private Party as well as the Young Bucks, along with things being set up with the TK driver, thanks to Mark Quinn. Of course, Matthew managed to keep him down for the pinfall and secure the victory for the 1-2-3 as things picked up with a counter as Daniel Garcia and Private Party wins via pinfall. Of course, Zay gets on the microphone, challenges the Young Bucks to a rematch for the titles. Matthew starts to decline as they go up the ramp, but Zay offered him something. He said they're putting their team on the line. He says if they lose, they will officially disband and break up. And the Bucks accept as they look for the BCC truck to arrive in the parking lot, but it's all a ruse. Nobody's in the inside. Then we end up having Willa Eula and Claudio Castellani blindsiding Private Party and Daniel Garcia, putting the beat down to them, leading to the arrival of John Moxley, who brings Chuck Taylor to the ring. Claudio wraps a chair around his neck, following with Moxley's instructions to stomp on it, as Orange Cassidy runs down to try to make the save, but to no avail after everything broke down. The BCC quickly makes their way out of the ring. Merrick can be seen checking on Chuck Taylor as this officially ends the career of Chuck Taylor. Looks like he's had too many neck injury problems, and he's going to become an agent officially, part in the backstage. But that had concluded AEW Dynamite. It was a solid, good show. It was nothing that you truly can ask for. But if you made it down to the end of this video, I appreciate you guys. Continue to chop it up with me about professional wrestling as I continue to rave on and continue to push towards 4,000 subscribers. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so you'll be in the known of whenever or wherever a new video drops for this channel. More importantly, I appreciate you guys coming through. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.